you can't function. I find that I just can't function the same way because my brain is exhausted, my body's exhausted, and I just find I don't want to be around people anymore. Hello, my friends.
Hello.
Welcome back to Cattablah. Yes, there is 6 A's in our name.
Welcome back to our Talk and Play podcast. It's like a podcast, but better.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
So, today, we're going to be talking about introverts and extroverts. And I like talking about this just because there's a lot of misnomers out there, actually, about introverts and extroverts. And it's mostly about introverts, really. Because I feel like a lot of people don't understand what it's like to be an introvert. And I mean, it's not like everybody is just one or the other. Yeah, that is in front of the waterfall. I don't know what you were doing. Good job.
Perspectives.
Yeah. So like a lot of people don't fall directly on one side or the other. They usually fall somewhere in between, and they're kind of a mixture of the two. But a lot of people don't really understand introverts, because a lot of times you think it's like, oh no, that person's just, you know, they're or they think that they're antisocial, or they just have the ideas like, oh yeah, introvert people just, they're antisocial, they like just sitting at home all the time and never going out and blah 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 blah. Which is not, it's not the case. I mean, it's I guess, yeah, it's a yes and no. Because introverts, everything that they do takes energy. You think about it this way. Everybody has an energy tank.
Chakra, if you will.
Yes, a chakra. Good job, Dustin. Yeah, let's just do hand signals. Naruto hand signals. There we go. Yeah, think about it. Everybody's got it's like a tank of gas. Now, introverts, everything they do takes out of this tank of gas. Everything. Any interactions that they have with people takes out of this tank of gas. And the only way to fill up this tank of gas is to have time to themselves. So, oh gosh. Okay. Oh gosh, yeah. So it all takes out of this tank of gas that they have. And now, it's not that they don't want to go out and see people. Like, introverts aren't, oh gosh, yeah, then you lose the bees. Introverts aren't antisocial. They just have to choose. He's so freaking slow. They have to choose who they want to spend their time with, and they also have to choose how often they want to do it, because all of it takes out of this tank of gas, and once you are running on empty, you feel completely like garbage. Like, so myself, I'm an introvert. If I go out into a group of people, you know, I go out, hang with my friends, even just go out in public, you know, I go to the mall, do something like that. All that stuff takes out of my tank of gas, and when I run out, I get very grumpy. I get exhausted. It's the same thing as like if you didn't sleep all night. You know, you had a bad sleep. You got like 2 hours of sleep, or maybe or like playing sports. You know, you get exhausted from playing in a tournament or something all day, and now you just have no energy and you're exhausted. Exact same thing. You know, your tank of gas is, great. Tank of gas is empty. You need to recharge it, otherwise you can't function. I find that I just can't function the same way because my brain is exhausted, my body's exhausted, and I just find I don't want to be around people anymore. So it's just every interaction is exhausting. And like, it's not like I don't like being out. Like, I still like going out, hanging with my friends, you know, going to the pub, doing this, doing that. It's just, I can't do that constantly. Otherwise, I get to a point where I want to lock myself in my house and not see anybody for like a week. And it's interesting because I had to explain to my girlfriend, because she is like the complete opposite. She loves going out and seeing people, hanging out, talking, doing all that. And to me, doing that even semi-frequently it's exhausting. That's not like, it's just exhausting. And so we're two completely different people, and she's always like, oh, well, why can't we go out? I want to do this. I want to do that. And I was like, okay, you have to understand, it's not that I don't like doing it, but if we do this all the time, I can't function anymore. Like, I can't keep doing this. It's like, you think about somebody with any kind of other, mental illness, like depression or anxiety or anything like that you may have to take pills for. Because that's like it's diagnosable and there are medications for it, everybody is a lot more understanding of that, right?
Yeah.
Whereas you try and tell people you're an introvert and you're like, I physically can't do that. I can't be around people right now. And they don't understand. They're like, well, you're just an introvert. They just don't, I guess they don't understand just because maybe it's not diagnosable / not widely accepted as a big issue. And I'm not saying it's a big issue. I'm just saying it is an issue still. Like, where would you consider yourself on that spectrum?
I'm neither. It's weird because it depends on my situation. I'm the same as you. I don't like hanging out with people. I actually require a ridiculous amount of alone time. Same thing. I had to have that conversation with my fiance. How the hell do I get that?
You have to do a spin off and drop down, and you can jump.
Yeah. So I had to have a conversation with her because when I get home at the end of the day or on a weekend, I require a lot of alone time to recharge.
Is that where you came from?
Yeah, I don't remember where I have to go.
I think you have to go right. There's something over here. Maybe not. Where? Oh boy. Now you've done it. Now you've done it. Go right. Now you've done it.
Am I dead?
Yep.
Perfect. Yeah, it's just... Okay, but for example, corporate meetings where I get to talk and be confident recharges me.
And that's a very extrovert thing, because they draw their energy from being around people. Like, they draw energy from other people. So they like being out amongst other people. That gets them going. Like, that fills them with energy. And like, that's what I said. It's kind of like a lot of people are on both sides.
Yeah.
They fall somewhere on both sides. Like, well, I don't want to interrupt you. Sorry. Like, go on. Yeah. So you get that energy from being...
and it's not even about being around people. I like to feel confident. I like to feel good about my knowledge and being able to say, well, no, you're wrong. Here's actually how it is. Here's how much it's going to cost you in the long run. Here's like all these variables. I like being able to present and look good and be confident while I'm doing it. Mm-hmm. And that will absolutely boost my energy. But going out to dinner with people, with friends, with my fiance's friends, and doing that kind of stuff, it exhausts me, and my tank for that is really, really low.
I mean, honestly, unwanted interactions, like, well, maybe not necessarily unwanted, well, kind of, but like forced interactions take up much more, for me, take up much more energy. So, like, if I did something, like we have this plan, we're going out, we're doing this, that's fine. But now all of a sudden it's like a last minute plan, like, I've talked to so and so, and we're gonna go out for dinner, go out for drinks with them, or whatever the case. That takes up way more energy for me than anything else, just because I feel like I have to Oh no! This was a smash the baddies. Well, now you've done it. That takes up way more energy for me because I feel like I have to work, but like get myself in the right mindset. Like, okay, I'm going out. This is what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
I need to prepare myself for this. And if I don't, then it just takes up way more energy.
And then people think I'm being a butthole, and I'm not trying to be. It's that, for the last week or whatever, like, let's say it's a Friday night. It's like, hey, I've had a long week at work. It's Friday. I'm just going to sit back and maybe read a book or something, have some alone time to myself. And then you find out at 6 p.m., hey, we're going out for dinner with my parents and a bunch of friends. it's like, you know what? I really like your people, but I am just. If you want them to like me, you don't want me to go out with them right now because I am not mentally prepared for this. I'm really exhausted. My give a shit tank it's gone.
Yeah.
And I can't do it. I'm sorry. And so that's what I mean. Like, I hate small talk too, and I hate trying to force conversation. I find that exhausting. And to go out with somebody that I don't really have much in common with, and like just sitting there awkwardly, it's a huge problem for me.
Yeah.
But what do you do about it? So yeah, I don't know where I sit. I feel like I'm like perfectly in the middle where, you know, for certain situations, I'm an extreme extrovert where I like being the center of attention. And then on the other side of it, I'm an extreme introvert where you need to leave me alone for 2 to 3 hours a night.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And it's just funny because, like, yeah, a lot of people, they don't understand. They you know, you have to explain it to them like, no, it's not that I don't like seeing people. Like, I still like going out. I still like being social, hanging out with other people. It's just, it gets exhausting and I can't do it too much. And extroverts are completely opposite. They love going out. They love being around people. That gives them a lot of energy. They like doing it. Oh, really? Okay, yeah, that's cool. And I almost feel like people think that like introverts is just that's just a label you call yourself. It's not an actual thing. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess unless you really experience, I feel like unless you experience kind of the introvert side of it, you probably would think that it's not really a real thing, because like, oh yeah, you're an extrovert, like, oh yeah, no, everybody just likes going out and just spending time with people and they can do that all the time. Where it's like, it's really not the case. For me, anyway.
I find being an introvert makes it very hard for me to make friends too.
Well, it is tough because, you know, there's some times where I get invited, you know, you get invited up to do something, you're like, I just don't want to be around people. I don't want to go out. I don't want to be around people right now.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they catch you on a couple times where you're like that, and they're like, oh, well, they don't want to come out ever, so I'm just not going to invite them out anymore.
It's like, no, give me a few days' notice so I can mentally prepare myself for it.
That's exactly it. Because if there's one thing I hate, it's last-minute plans.
Yep, me too.
And I also find that it really bothers me when plans change, because it's like, okay, I've got myself in the right mindset, you know, I've been preparing myself for this plan, we've got it done, that's what we're doing, great. And then all of a sudden that plan changes, and it's just like, I can't handle this. This is the worst thing ever. And I know my girlfriend gets mad at me when that happens too, because like I'll complain about it. It's like, well, that's not the plan that we had. This is the plan we had. Why aren't we doing this? And you know, that bothers me, but then she also doesn't understand. And I mean, like, I've explained it to her, and she's, for the most part, been quite understanding since then. You know, I say it's like I need the time. I can't, like, right now I just can't do that. You know, this weekend we have plans with, you know, 800 different people. I don't want to do that. I can't do that. And she's a lot more understanding of that now. Like, I've fully explained, you know, you've got these problems. I'm fine with that. I need you to see that I have this problem. I need you to understand that that's just how I am.
Yeah.
Can
I kill those things?
Yeah, you can roll. You have to roll through them.
Oh, and that's the biggest misnomer. It's not that I don't like hanging out with people, like you said. But people get that in their head, and then they think you're A, lazy, and B, a butthole.
Yeah.
Child friendly. but they do. He's just a lazy ass, and it's like, no, I'm not. I really enjoy your company. It's just there's too many people that I enjoy their company, and I've already used my tank up on them.
Yeah, exactly.
But we can do it next week. Give me a week's notice, and I'll fit you in and pencil you in.
Yeah,
my assistant will pencil you in. But yeah, I feel you, man, and I spend a lot of time alone. Like, even my fiance, she is so good about it because she is an extrovert, more of an extrovert than I am. And she again, nobody really falls into the one extreme, I don't think. So she is more extroverted than I am, but she's still kind of introverted. But she completely understands. So so a lot of times when I get home, like, she's got things ready for me for my alone time. Like, I've come home and she's known that I've had a hard week and that I've had to interact with more people than I care to that week. And I came home to, like, a brand new video game sitting on my PS4. She's like, just relax, enjoy your night. I've put your pipe out for you. And there's a 6-pack of beer in the fridge. I'll see you in 3 hours. So, like, and that's what I find that people have to start doing is, like you said, understanding that it's not.
Well, that's interesting.
It's not that people hate you. It's that we really need the time so that we don't hate you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you're constantly on us. They're like, hey, where are we going to hang out? Why don't we ever hang out? And they're texting you 3,000 times. It's like, dude,
that actually makes me want to hang. That makes me want to hang out less, to be honest, because that takes up energy too.
Yeah.
Like, constantly having to say no to people and have people, like, bug you about it. That takes up energy too.
Yeah. Well, why? What do you mean?
It's like, because a lot of people just they just don't understand it, and like, I don't, you don't want to explain it to everybody, because at the same time you do feel like it's kind of a personal thing, where it's like, these are my limits. This is stuff that I just can't, like, mentally I can't do this right now.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I need time to recharge my tanks. Otherwise, I've been out times where, like, tanks on empty. I didn't want to go out. I was kind of forced to go out, and I have no energy to even communicate with people. Like, I'll just sit there like a lump on a log. Like, there's nothing there.
Yep, been there.
It's I don't know. It's tough, and I feel like I'm sure a lot of you guys out there can be the same way. There's definitely a lot of people nowadays who like just having their alone time. They like being alone. It doesn't mean that they don't necessarily want to have friends or go out with friends, but that alone time makes them feel the best.
Yeah. Because
they're not pulling from that tank of energy.
I'm doing what I want to do. This is what I enjoy. This is what recharges me. This is what I've done my entire life. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like, it's a tough thing to. I don't even know if it's becoming more known or accepted nowadays. Just because it's not like I said, it's not diagnosable. It's not something. I mean, maybe it is diagnosable, but it's not one like like depression or bipolar or anything, like things that people hear about at the mental health awareness day. That stuff's all revolved around. So they know that stuff. Like, that stuff is familiar to them. They know it's a big problem. So then their understanding of that, it's like, oh, you're just an introvert. Oh, you just like being antisocial. You don't want to see people, blah, blah, blah. Which is not quite the case.
Well, anyways, let us know what you are in the comments. And if you did like this video, give it a like. And if you really liked it, give it a subscribe, because we do these every week. And, we hope you enjoyed it.
See ya.
Bye.